Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer the questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
And of course, since I forgot to introduce, here's our trusty SIM ejector tool, this time a short one. This is an old HTC SIM ejector tool. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to the questions.
Is buying a OnePlus 3T now make sense, or should I go with the OnePlus 5?
What do you think?
The OnePlus 3T is on sale right now at 25k, right? For 25k?
26.
Doesn't matter. If you have a strict budget
Of around 25.
25, then that's the best option, I guess. Is there anything else at 25k? Yeah, the Honor 8 Pro. That's
Honor 8
also on
Pro is
sale
also
for
on sale.
25. So that's totally worth it.
The 8 Pro is basically a OnePlus 5 competitor,
Yeah.
so why would you pick the OnePlus 3T over the OnePlus 5? Because the 8 Pro is basically, equal to the OnePlus 5. It's got certain areas where it does better, certain areas where the OnePlus 5 does better, but for all intents and purposes, they're on a level playing field.
Yeah, definitely better than the 3T.
Yep, but if you do really want stock Android, and if you really want to buy only a OnePlus phone, then maybe. But even then, I'd suggest go with the OnePlus 5.
Yeah, Honor 8 Pro or OnePlus
Plus
5.
5. And this is a question that was picked basically because I push it through to the cards. We've got a dedicated comparison of the OnePlus 5 versus the Honor 8 Pro. And yeah, do check that out.
Your thoughts on Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL?
So Pixel 2 XL, there was nothing much that was surprising. It was basically what we expected. Yes, there was an 18:9 display, but then again, bezels were, it wasn't like Samsung's
That
version.
kind of disappointed me, because Samsung, with their old design, they were able to do around 74% screen to body ratio, I guess. And this one's around just 78.
Okay, and what's the iPhone 8 Plus?
iPhone 10 and
8 Plus.
8 Plus is just almost equal to the Pixel 2, I guess.
Okay, and now how about the 8?
Same, probably. Yeah, same.
Okay, just curious. Okay, continue.
So yeah, the Note 8 and the iPhone 10 could do, it's around 83%.
Okay. Fair enough. So for me, that was one area which was a little weird. And I'm really interested to see how that single camera portrait and all that works out. And of course, I did watch MKBHD's coverage of it, and the picture that he clicked with the front camera, that was kind of great, right? Because as in we've seen much worse looking stitching, or rather software portrait
Even with two
created with
cameras.
dual camera phones, and that was like in a really crowded room and all that. So of course I don't really take whatever a brand says, you can never take whatever a brand says totally as in, but this was like a real life example, so that is what really got me interested in the phone. So I can't wait to see how the cameras perform. And last year with the Pixel, still images were great, but with videos and stuff, EIS was good, but still EIS brings with it that little jittery effect which was there, which I felt was a turn off with regards to the Pixel and Pixel XL. And over here, OIS plus EIS, again, very interested to see how they hold up. Again, barring that, it's all the same, right? Stock Android, Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, but yeah, let's see.
Snapdragon 660.
I know, yeah, Headphone Jack.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's an interesting fact. The 3.5 mm to USB-C adapter. Yes, there is one that's included in the box, but if you lose it,
It's a USB-C to 3.5 adapter.
3.5 to USB.
Oh, it's a USB-C to... Okay, whatever.
Okay, so you're gonna have to shell out $20.
Okay.
And we thought Apple.
The difference here is that you get a lot of third-party stuff anyway that you could use, but with Apple,
there are third-party.
not quite as common as with Android, right? Again.
Okay. Snapdragon 660 is good enough for heavy games when 625 itself can run heavy games. Then what is the use of buying mobiles with 820, 21, 35?
So guys, the more premium the chip, it's not just about running games, it's about the overall responsiveness and speed, and also the kind of camera sensors that it can support. and the kind of image processing and all that is involved with the chip. It's not just all about running games, right? And again, with newer, more intense games, that you might see a difference.
Future proofing.
Exactly. So those are all the things. So yeah, but then again, compared to say 3 years back, today the difference between a mid-range chip and a flagship chip is a lot lesser.
What's Super Chat in YouTube Live?
So that's basically where you can pay money to actually get your whatever chat you put up to pop up and with the color and all that stuff. So it's
For
just
how much time?
for a few seconds, for a minute or so. I'm not sure.
iPhone 8 Plus or Note 8? Priority camera, mainly photography and not much video recording.
So guys,
What?
just waiting for you to answer this.
Alright. If you know to use the manual mode, the Note 8 would be the better choice. Given that the other aspects of the phone, they are much better than that of the 8 Plus. But if you're going to use the camera mostly on auto mode, then the iPhone 8 Plus.
So that's his answer, preempting what he thinks I'm going to say. I'm going to say, if your priority is camera, go with the iPhone 8 Plus. It's got a better camera. But again, the manual mode definitely is something that makes the Note unique, or rather Android phones unique, because that lets you do things. Okay, you know what? Stay tuned for my Note 8 review. Let's just leave it at that. It should be live within 48 hours of this video going live.
Why OEMs are moving to Android One devices like Mi A1 and Moto X4?
It's not OEMs, it's just Xiaomi and Motorola. So with both brands, there are different reasons. So with Xiaomi, it's more about the reach. There are countries where Google can launch a phone where Xiaomi kind of struggles to. So it's countries like these where Xiaomi can reach, markets they can reach. And again, in India, if you look at it, there's a certain, Xiaomi's done exceedingly well in the mid-range, but in the 15-ish segment, they haven't really had an offering. Yes, they've had the Mi Max and stuff, but the Mi Max 2, that's a niche segment, right? Yeah. Who wants 6.44 or 6.4 inch displays? That's not even a bezel-less form factor. It's like a huge, close to a tablet form factor kind of phones. So they haven't had something in that segment, barring their old flagships, of course. So here's where, this is a segment where Motorola has done exceedingly well. Why? Close to stock Android, of course, Moto branding. So over here in a market like India, Xiaomi gets both brand value because it's still a Google Android One phone, and they also get stock Android. So it basically, Xiaomi gets to reach an audience that they were not able to by themselves, whether it's like I explained in India or in other countries where they don't have a footprint yet. When it comes to Moto, it's a little more convoluted. So basically with Moto, they build their brand upon the promise of fast security patches, fast updates and all that. And then they gone ahead and pulled, once they were bought out by Lenovo, it's all gone downhill. So now the Moto brand is taking flack for, stuff like Moto G5S Plus users. What security patch are you on? That should basically answer it. And other stuff like the Moto G4 Plus, where they announced
promised Android,
promised upgrades to ONP, and then they kind of just took a marker white. If it were like years back, it's like advertising it in a store and then putting a whiteboard marker on it, or rather white ink, whatever. So they tried to get away with it, but then they were caught, and then they said it's a misunderstanding, and now they're providing the update. But because of these things, basically Motorola and updates aren't really going hand in hand, so they are losing out on a certain demographic who preferred Moto for the updates, but now are kind of moving away. Something like the X4 is basically what every Moto phone was a few years back, assured security patches and like assured updates, and that's what Moto stood for. But under Lenovo, it doesn't, so they're trying to just bring about a few devices where they could still do that. So for the end consumer, as long as the pricing is not nuts, it could still be a win-win.
What about more PC builds?
So guys, PC builds, we want to do it. We will do it soon. It's kind of on ice for now. I'm trying to put together something really quick, but again, space constraints. We've been in the middle of. Okay, so here's what's happening, right? So I've moved the house part of the office. So basically, if you've been here for 3 years or something, I used to shoot out of my house. So that was the first C480X setup. And then the space wasn't enough. So I moved into this place, which was the office, and that was the house. Later, for various reasons, I actually ended up moving in here. My home part became part of the office. So now I've actually moved back to my old place, the home part of it. So the office is this, the home is there, that. But then again, since I've moved the room that I was using as my bedroom and the kitchen, which now goes back to being a storage area, we are still in the midst of a move. There is still kitchen stuff left in the kitchen. The bedroom, we just got it repainted, and that's all been happening. So in the next week or so, that should all be done. And once it's done, we'd get an extra room to shoot in. So then if I'm doing a PC build or something, I get a space to put things, keep things. But right now, there's no space to even put the boxes that we get our PC build stuff, the PC stuff in. So that's what it is. So once we move to the new place in a few months, 3 months at least, 3 to 4 months, then you should see a lot more PC builds. But for now, once I get that room up and running in the next, a week or so, we would be ready to shoot PC videos. So that should happen very soon.
Amazon Echo releasing in India. Are home speakers really worth it? Should we wait for Google Home Speaker?
So I have a Google Home. I like it. I like it a lot. So not for all the reasons most people use it. For me, it's more of in the night, I have insomnia, so I'm like watching TV. Okay guys, again, a regular disclaimer. Today we are shooting it at 11 p.m. and we're both a little tired, so
Too tired.
Kinda trying to keep up the activeness, the enthusiasm, energy levels. If they are a little low, pardon us for that. We try to shoot it early, but then it just one thing after the other keeps happening. Anyway, coming back, so I have a Google Home. The best thing I like about it, there are two things I like about it. One, not so much now. One is by the time I'm going to bed, I have insomnia, so I'm watching TV, and at one point I'm like, okay, I'm really sleepy. I'm like, okay, let me pause this, whatever I'm streaming, and let me sleep, pause it. And now I really need to sleep as soon as possible. Otherwise, if I kind of get fresh again, then I'm not going to fall asleep for another couple of hours. So I just turn the TV off, and then hey Google, wake me up at. So I don't have a set schedule because usually I do, but with insomnia, when I have one day where I sleep late and my cycle is broken, then the best way for me to get back into my cycle is to set an alarm for 5 hours from whenever I sleep. So that might be 10 today, 12 tomorrow, 3 p.m. the next day. So I just look at the time, okay, on TV, so it's like 2 a.m. Okay, Google, wake me up by 5, and it's set. That's cool. That's super cool. That's like what I really love about my Google Home. And then of course, once I wake up,
that on a phone, right?
I could, but then again, my phone is mostly on silent. Okay. So I forget to take it off silent. I'm not saying this is why everybody should buy one. For me, personally, my phone's on silent, so I forget to take it off silent. And since my alarm varies, it's just a little bit more awkward, and I keep switching phones. The phone I have might not have Google Assistant on it. So for all those reasons, and again, when I wake up in the morning, I go like, hey Google, play me something, and that works. But I can't do that right now because I'm not using Google Play Music anymore.
Okay.
Because Google Play Music only lets you sign into 10 devices a year, and I'm past 10 devices.
Do you think Honor?
So yeah, I am sorry if we've not answered the question yet.
I know.
So there are quite a few instances where this is great, and now they've introduced a lot more features for Google Home, wherein you can broadcast messages to different rooms if you have different Google Home speakers and all that. So that is something I'm really high on testing out. As far as Amazon goes, I haven't used any Echo speakers yet, but I've heard great things about Alexa, and I would really love to test one out. But then again, should I? Would you guys be interested in seeing Amazon Echo related videos? Would you want to see us pit that against Google Home or something like that? Let us know in the comments below. We'll try to get that done. And talking about in the comments below reminds me of one thing I was supposed to tell you guys at the opening of the video. Next week, on the 15th, Sunday we would be hosting a little bit of a meetup with Tamil Tech in Bangalore. So if you live in Bangalore and you want to meet us,
Be there.
be there. But where? We don't know yet. I mean, it's not yet confirmed. So stay tuned to Twitter. We tweet out more information as and when we know it. Let's hope it doesn't rain.
Do you think Honor is playing different strategies in Indian market, pricing their phones lesser than other markets?
Yes, Honor has always been providing good value for money in India, right? Their phones, I mean, as much as
The Honor 6X was priced at $250
globally
in the US, and here it was around 12,500.
15, right? 14 something.
No, 12,500.
It's 14 something. Okay, I don't know.
12,500. That was the launch price.
You reviewed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's why I don't remember. So anyway, Honor has been, I mean, even the phones that got bashed, by media, like for example, the Huawei P9, it was still $39,999 compared to the other phones in that segment with the Leica cameras and all that. It was still great value, but there was a time where people didn't realize how good Kirin chips had gotten, because the previous generation Kirin chips were meh. They weren't really good. The Honor 6 was like meh. Kirin, they weren't doing great, but then they have caught up right now. Their chips are quite good. The CPU performance was actually faster than
The OnePlus
835, right?
I'm not sure. If
Rendering
it was faster.
time was faster.
Yeah, rendering was
Yeah, the CPU performance. It came really close in the speed test as well.
What's your favorite novel series? Both of you.
Again, we haven't answered the question yet. Different strategies. So they've been trying to attain a foothold in the Indian market, and I guess that's why they've been super competitive with their pricing. So that's the answer.
Even Moto's doing the same.
What?
G5 and G5S Plus. G5S.
S and G5S Plus. It's cheaper than the
They're
global
much cheaper
markets,
than
but
the
it's still
global.
not great value.
Um,
It's good value. I'm not going to say it's not good value, but then again,
not
after
the
your
Zenphone 3 good value, or
Zenphone 3 after the price cut.
yeah. What's your favorite novel series?
What's yours?
I don't read novels.
Twilight.
I don't read novels. I haven't even watched the movie.
So for me, I don't have series. I have a favorite author, Mario Puzo. Series, I don't know. As a kid, I'd go with Harry Potter. I did read all the books. I like them. But then again, overall, as far as authors go, I'd go with Mario Puzo. If you've not read The Godfather or The Sicilian, do read it. Omerta is quite good too, but I love his work.
Xiaomi Yeelight. It's worth buying. Do you have it?
Yes. It's amazing. It's awesome. We've got it right here around the table. We've got the lamp as well. We've got the bulbs as well.
That's how we get the colorful
backgrounds and color lighting for our videos. So it's excellent. It is, as long as you don't have to keep switching phones, which we do a lot, in which case it gets tiring signing to Xiaomi's app over and over again. The Bluetooth versions of the lights, whichever is not Wi-Fi, you need to repair them every single time you move to a new phone. That's a pain. But then overall, they're quite good. You should get them.
Do you plan to do more cinematic videos? The last one was amazing.
So if you have no clue what he's talking about, check out this video. Dude, you're not supposed to laugh every time I point to a card. That's not how cards work.
Right.
Okay, so what do you say? The next time, by cinematic, if you mean,
21:9.
21:9.
24 FPS.
Let me know if you'd want me to do one. Well, there's a certain phone launching on the 10th. I could shoot that way. Okay, let me make it obvious. Mi Mix 2. I could probably shoot it that way whenever we get to unbox it. So let me know if you'd want me to do that 21:9. A lot of people like 21:9, but some people is like black bars. I don't want it. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. If more people tell us 21:9, we'd shoot that 21:9. If more people tell us 16:9, we'll shoot 16:9.
Do you record transactions related to C4E Tech and maintain books of accounts to ascertain profit or loss?
Yes, I do. And there's another question which I didn't pick. That's the reason why Sundar gets paid more than I do. Reality.
What's your thought on having presence of headphone jack in mobile phones? Do you like it or dislike it?
See, me personally, I haven't used 3.5mm headphone jacks for headphones on phones. since 2010, 2009, 2010. I switched to Bluetooth earphones a long time back, and I love AVRCP, being able to swap tracks on the go. So that was one of the things I hated about iPhones initially till iOS 4.1. AVRCP wasn't supported on iPhones. I had an iPhone 3G, drove me nuts that I had to take my phone out every time I had to switch a track. So anyway, coming back, so I used the Jabra Street first, BT3030, and then the Street 2, and then what did I jump to? Jaybirds for a couple of years, and then now on Bose. So anyway, but then again, occasionally I've used 3.5mm headphone jacks, like your regular wired earphones, and I do like them a lot, because even now, if I'm traveling, I'm gonna take my what do you say?
Yeah.
What do you say? My wireless sound sports. Yes, I'm gonna take it. But let's say my flight is delayed. I'm stuck somewhere and I run out of juice for some reason. Alright, I'm always gonna
have a pair of
earphones lying around. I'd love to use them, but now I'm not gonna buy a USB Type-C earphones just because to have as backups. I'm not gonna do it. But then of course there's some earphone that comes with the box that that might not sound good but would help me out in a pinch.
Yeah.
So if somebody is shaving the headphone jack off, if there's good reason for it, they're going super slim with the phone or extremely thin bezels, they couldn't fit it in, I understand. But for chunky earphones, removing it just for the sake of it, I find it to be nuts. What do you think?
Exactly. And we have a bunch of earphones lying around in the office.
Yeah.
Definitely would love to have headphone jacks on all phones. Check the thing about apartment hunt. Won't you miss the current place? Was it where you started your channel?
So I answered part of this. It was in the other place that I started. So this place, yes, I'd miss the place, and of course we'd miss that gate even more for all the camera samples. But
you haven't been seeing that for the past few comparisons, right?
I guess. But we still did feature it on the Honor 9i unboxing. Yeah. Which, in case you've missed out, here's a card to that. And yeah, he's trying not to laugh this time.
You didn't have to say that.
So yeah, but then again, all jokes apart, we really need a larger space. I feel that's kind of holding us back right now. So we're really looking forward to moving to the new place, and more updates on that in the next episode.
Why did you opt for making videos on YouTube?
So there's an entire video on it. Check out my drama life.
When are you doing Asus Zenphone 4 review?
Give me 10 days.
Okay.
The Note 8, so here's my backlog. I'm doing the Note 8 first, so that should go live most probably on Monday, but then I'm just gonna say, just to be safe, 48 hours. And then I'm gonna be doing the Zenphone 4 or the iPhone 8 Plus. I'd probably do 8 Plus Zenphone 4 or 8 Plus mixed to Zenphone 4 or 8 Plus Zenphone 4 mixed to. Those are my next 3 reviews.
Okay. How do you rate Sundar out of 10 if you're 10 out of 10?
I'd rate him a 11 or something. Anything lower than what I'm rated at, he's just gonna break more stuff. So he's 11 on 10. You get there's nothing else. He's like 100 on 10, whatever saves me more money. Come on, I make less money than him as it is. Can't afford to take the losses.
Don't you think FUPs are bullshit?
Okay, this one woke me up. Thank you, Airtel. Airtel kind of started it in India. Of course, globally other people have been doing it, but in other countries it was always more of a, like when I was working for AT&T, I used to work in support for AT&T US chat support a long time back. They had the restriction of 500 gigs a month or something, but it was never enforced. People would go past 500, they still wouldn't bill them. And even then the charges at that point were still kind of rational. AT&T was charging $10 for 50 GB, which is like what? At that point it converted to like $500 for 50 gigs, which is fine. Airtel back then was still charging something like $1,500 for 25 gigs.
No. $1,500, $1,350 for around 20 or 25.
25. So 20, 25, something like that. And they were giving you cool FUPs like 4 gigs.
Yeah. 899 or 900 rupees. I don't remember. 8 gigs.
And that's
4
why.
Mbps.
Yes, and that's similar stuff was what they were pulling with phones as well, data. But data is like more widely, adopted. I understand it's like wireless, it costs more, fair enough. But with broadband, anyway, at least today things are getting better. Yes, FUP still exists in India, but then again, it's becoming a little bit more okay.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
Than it used to be.
you get like what's the starting FUP on ACT? It's like
80
on
gigs,
Act it's like 75
70 or
gigs.
80, yeah.
75-80 gigs is their starter plan. So that's
And they charge just $750 for it.
Yep.
Very nominal.
And Hathway, I don't know how Hathway services. It was bad for me when I tried to get the connection, so I haven't got it yet. But then again, Hathway is doing what, $1,000, 1000 GB, 150 Mbps per month. So yes, there are FUPs. CherryNet has come up with a no FUP plan now.
Okay.
No FUP. So the condition is improving, and that's why I say Airtel. You can fill in the blanks. What do you think I would have said? I've said it on cam before.
Audio Technica versus Bose. Which one do you prefer and why?
See, it's like apples to oranges. Audio Technica is...
Monitors versus music.
They're not monitors per se, but then I can use them as monitors.
Yeah.
They're a lot more natural sounding. Bose is tuned more towards music. If I'm editing my videos, I usually do it on my Bose. Yes, I do. On the soundbar. Call me crazy. But if I wanted to get that extra fidelity and I really wanted to monitor what's happening, I'd probably choose the Audio Technicas. Again, for the speaker inputs, or if I'm checking the input levels on my camera, I'm always using the Audio Technica 80H M70X. It's good. The M70X is good, but then Bose is just excellent for calls. I've never...
And noise cancellation.
Yeah, noise cancellation is one. Secondly, for calls, I've never had a better pair of Bluetooth anything that's given me better audio fidelity on calls. So I can literally be on a bike under 40 kmph. Over that it gets windy, but 30, 25, 20, you get a call, I just pick it up before I can, if it's something urgent, just pick it up, move to the side of the road, or sometimes continue riding. Again, not saying, do not do as I do, but yeah, it's still good for calls. So outdoors, I can still talk to people on it. Most times people don't know if I'm on Bluetooth earphones or not, so it is that good. So yeah, so that's why I'm kind of a big huge Bose fan right now. If you asked me a couple of years back, I'd probably go Bose is overpriced. Really, but right now, so basically this is what happened, guys. I got one time, it was a long time since I bought anything for myself, so I decided I wanted to buy something for myself. Okay, I had been spending so much money on C4E Tech, upgrading cameras and all that, and I was like, I should do something for myself. So then I decided, okay, you know what, there's this friend of mine who keeps talking about Bose all the time, and I'm like, he's like talked about it so many times, let me actually give it a shot and see how it goes. And then I bought the QC35s, and oh my god, I loved it. Here's the funniest part, when I bought it, I didn't even know that it had microphones. Okay, I bought it for the noise cancellation, but then turns out it could handle calls, and it was great. From then, I've been always...
flagship pair of headphones come with a mic these days.
Yeah, I didn't know it at that point. So then, almost every call I took after that, I was taking it on the QC35s. So then when time came, I got really frustrated with my speakers, and I really wanted to upgrade to something. Then I thought, let me drop money on the Bose soundbar. And anybody who's visited the office knows how awesome that is. All right. So then when it came time to buy regular earphones, I ended up going the Bose SoundSport. Have not regretted it. 10 hours battery life, extremely comfortable, great call quality. I love it.
When did you realize that you should start a Tamil channel, and why did you start it?
So again, a very fun question, because about 6 months before I started it, I was at this YouTube happy hour in Chennai.
Yeah.
Wherein one of these YouTube people were talking to me, and they were like, regional content is doing well, you should start one. And I was like, I can barely run one channel as is. There's no way I'm running two. But then again, my friend Tamal from Tamil Tech, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. So when he visited here, again, I don't collab with people that I don't know. So generally, I meet somebody, I talk to them, and I like the person, then I end up doing a collab with them after time. So I've known at that point I'd known Tamal for like 6 months before that. His name is Tamal, the guy who runs Tamil Tech. So this becomes a kind of confusion at times. So I had known Tamal for like the guy for 6 months. So he's like, let's do a collab, and I hadn't done any videos in Tamil till then. I was like, okay, let's try how it is. And then we did it. And then the response was like so awesome. And even in that video, which was an interview with me, he asked me, do you have any plans of running a Tamil channel? I'm like, nah, I can, again, the same reply. I can barely run one channel as is. There's no way I'm taking on two. But then the kind of response we got was so awesome. And it was like, why not? It started off as like a fun thing we were joking about. And then eventually it became like, let's actually do this.
Yeah.
And it's just how. And even now, to be honest, we haven't really been pushing. I mean, whatever it is we are working for, it's always on C4E Tech. And then that kind of gets ported over to Tamil. It's kind of like C4E Tech is the Galaxy S, and the Tamil channel is like the J of C4E Tech. So it all gets ported over. Again, once we move to the new space, we'd be spending more time on it. But even then, the response has been phenomenal. It's been really good.
Which is an overall better phone, Honor 8 Pro or Honor 9i? Don't you think that Huawei has come a long way in their MUI and grin chips?
So for those of you who immediately go, hey, why is this guy even picking this question? Isn't it obvious that the 8 Pro is the better phone over here? Guys, I get it, it's obvious, but there have been so many people who've been asking us this, because it's got an 8, this has got a 9, and to everybody, the 8 Pro is the better device, through and through. There's absolutely nothing the 9i can do better. The 9i is an excellent phone in its own right.
Maybe selfie portraits.
Probably.
Because it has 2 cameras to the front, maybe.
Barring that, overall the 8 Pro is a much better phone. It's also the more expensive phone, so of course makes sense that it's better. The 9i is a good phone, probably Sundar is reviewing it. Yeah. So initial impressions, it feels like good value. So he'd probably come out of the review and like by the time at least the 10i comes here or something. Yeah. So 2018 by March or something, if you don't see the review, drop me a DM or just hit me up on Twitter, I'll follow up with him. So yeah.
Now where are the two videos you promised earlier, Ash, setup and behind the scenes? Sundar is much better at keeping his words now.
Did you not hear him? Oh, what did he just say about the 9i review? Okay, guys, jokes apart, setup tour is something I've always been non-committal about. Guys, the reality is this place is a mess. Anybody who's actually seen a Periscope stream of mine knows how much of a mess this place is.
You don't want to see a setup tour.
When you type in setup tour, you see stuff like MKBHD's studio. Dream Desk. And then you see who else? Techno Buffalo's office tour. Oh my god, that's awesome. Linus's studio tour. You see all that. Our setup is a big, huge, steaming pile of mess. I'm going to say mess over here because I don't want to bleep myself out. So I'm really not for doing a setup tour. I'm not interested in doing it. That's the reality. This place is way too weird, and we've spent so much time making it look good on cam. We don't want to pull back the curtain. We don't want to show you how we've been covering up how messy this place is. So since all that time and effort has gone into making the place look good on camera, so anyway, that's the reality. But then again, behind the scenes, you want behind the scenes? You got behind the scenes. Mi Mix 2, when I'm unboxing it, I will shoot a video behind the scenes on how I get that video done. So you got it. And now let's see. Today I commit to it. Let's see how many days till that goes live. Today Sundar talked about the 9i review. Let's see how many days till that goes live. And then you tell me who is...
Unboxing takes much less time.
Better at keeping up his words. Okay, right now I'm telling you my Note 8 review goes live tomorrow.
You've tested the Note 8 already. You are yet to test it. Test the Honor 9i.
Okay, let's say my Mi Mix 2 review goes live before his Honor 9i review. I haven't even got the Mi Mix 2 yet.
Okay, fair enough. It's not fair, it's actually...
Yes, but then again, I'm the one who's supposed to approve scripts. So I'm not going to read it.
Usually, do you shoot in 4K and scale it to 1080p, or shoot directly in 1080p?
We shoot directly in 1080p unless and until there's a reason to shoot 4K. So somewhere, if you're gonna crop in an animate or something, then we shoot that in 4K, which Sundar doesn't. He's dead against it.
We always speak about buying new phones. How about selling our current phones? What's the best option now to sell used phones?
What do you handle the sales for us?
If any of you guys know the answer to this, please let me know. We have a pile of used phones that we need to sell.
Currently using OLX.
Yeah, we were using eBay, guys, but then this GST thing ruined it for us.
Yeah, so basically
now we gotta use OLX. So it's just constrained to just one city, just Chennai.
Yeah, because on eBay, paying GST for it, then you can't like really show both ways GST. So which means the end buyer is still gonna wanna buy a phone for 20 grand. Then if you're gonna pay 20% GST on it, 18%, whatever, then we lose much more money. So it's better to sell it offline. So it's kind of been convoluted. If you know any better ways to sell it, of course, exchange offers are shit. So please don't say you can exchange it on Flipkart. That doesn't work. The exchange offers are very, very low compared to what you can actually sell it for.
Sites like Cashit that exchange that door pickup.
Yeah, but
that's crazy. They don't offer good
money at all. Again, so
A5 2017 they were offering around 9,000 rupees.
Okay, how much did we sell it
7
for?
or 9,000 rupees. We haven't sold it yet.
Okay, we haven't sold it yet. How much did we sell the A5 for?
A7 2017. We sold the A7 2017.
For how much?
I don't know.
12 grand
the back was broken.
But the back was broken. So
even then,
it went
we
for
were
12
able to sell it for 12K. Where do you store your videos? Do you have a server for it? If not, will you build it sometime in future like Linus did?
So we're having somebody new join us soon. So he's gonna be our PC guy. So already,
PC technician.
PC technician. Okay, dude.
Server.
Yeah, Amartya, I can notice this. He called you
Server
a PC
expert.
technician. Okay.
PC expert. Whatever.
So he already, I discussed PC builds that I do with him already. So he's been really helping us out with that. He's not on set yet. He should be coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So once he's here again, that's another reason why PC build stuff will go up once he gets here. So as far as storing videos go, right now it's on Sundar's hard drive and mine. Everything is interconnected with Cat 6. So I take stuff off his hard drive, he takes it off mine. And sometimes, generally, it goes like every day in the night I text Sundar saying, dude, you left your PC on, or in the morning I go, dude, why didn't you? Not every day, once in a while, most of the times, almost every day, well, every day. Dude, why have you left the PC on? But then, so that's this day when I'm rendering a video for C4 Tech Tamil. And Sundar is right there by me. He knows like I'm rendering it and everything. He says, I'm leaving now. Like, okay. He goes, he turns his PC off and goes. And like 20 minutes later, I'm like, why is the render still stuck? And then I go, it's all like one solid color. What's happening? Then I see the PC is shut down. So then I re-render it. No audio, re-render again. And that's the day I wanted to go back home early. He makes me sit for an hour and a half extra in the office. So in all probability, we'd want to build a server, but then after Amartya gets here.
Which games do you play on your smartphone? Honestly, I kind of stopped playing on my smartphone. Although yesterday he made me play Sudoku.
Did you actually do the gaming for the Note 8 B-roll?
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I played Asphalt 8 today.
Why Asphalt 8? Okay, Asphalt 8. So anyway, games I play Sudoku, and then see I have like 3 or 4 games that I keep playing.
Plants vs Zombies
2,
whatever. Cross Sea Road.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Not in a long
used
time.
to play. Okay, and then what? Candy Crush.
Okay, not in a long time.
Okay.
Candy Crush is like something I'll download. I'll play for a week, and then it's gone for another 6 months. What else?
I download these ketchup games. They're awesome. Time killers.
Now I know why videos get delayed. So anyway, jokes apart, Word Feud is one. It's like a Scrabble thingy that I play from time to time. So that's pretty much it. The Go games. the, what do you say, Tomb Raider Go, Hitman Go and all that.
Are you excited about
Monument Valley is another one I like.
Why don't Google start making their own chips even when they have all the funds and expertise required?
So guys, being a software company and being a hardware company are two different things, right? So the funding might be there, but do you think Samsung doesn't have the funding, or do you think Qualcomm doesn't have the funding? So here's what it is. If you go like 3 or 4 or 5 years back, before 64-bit became a thing, Android chips were kind of much closer to Apple's chips than they are today. So then 64-bit came about. Again, Android Authority had a great write-up on this. Do check it out. Gary explains on how Apple kind of got a lead, and how Android, as in Qualcomm and all the Android chip manufacturers, are still playing catch up, how they got a lead with the 64-bit, and how if you look at it till the 800, 801, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But then the 805 was supposed to be the next move, but the 805, only there was only 2 devices that were ever released with the Snapdragon 805. If you look at any other flagship chip from Qualcomm, there's always more than 2 devices. The Galaxy Note 4, and what's the other device?
I don't remember. I mean, I don't know.
Motor Turbo. That beautiful ballistic nylon back and all that. Those are the only 2 devices with Snapdragon 805. So then the 810 came out. That was because of all the pressure that 64-bit had kind of created. So we all know how 810 went, right? So there they were using off-the-shelf cores on it. And then 820 was still kind of like a licensing thingy. And 835, they're still continuing it. So yeah, let's see. Okay, what do you mean? Let's see. So that's the reason why it's not very easy for Google. Guys, it's late.
Too sleepy.
Yes. Okay. Like if the camera turns off, I'm going this. Before the camera turned on, I was like, hey guys, Ash here from C4. That's exactly what happened. So anyway, that is the reason why it's not very easy for Google to do it. I expect Google to eventually get into it, given
They just
how.
bought. I mean, that was R&D again. Sleepy.
So given that they are really getting serious about their pixels.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Those are all the questions that I picked for today. I am so happy. I've never been happy to end Ash Answers, but today, I mean, even the 1 o'clock episode and stuff, though I was tired, I was sleepy, I was still...
Ash Answers got us pumped up.
Yes, and today it's like, yes, I'm still excited to do Ash Answers, but there's like a fog in my head. I'm not as sharp as I'm supposed to be, or as sharp as I usually am. So I'm sorry guys if the quality of the show kind of dipped a little bit. Let's get back up next week. Next week, Sundar, you're not delaying it like this week, all right? You can't come in late to work like you did today. Oh, okay, that was me. but still, let's say. So yeah, guys, if you did like this video, if you hated it, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified each time a new video goes live here on C4 Retech. And what else?
Wait. Live with Ash?
Oh yeah, Live with Ash. That's a live YouTube thingy that we do on Wednesdays or Fridays. I really don't know. We did it Fridays last 2 weeks. We did it on Wednesdays before that. If you want us to do it on any other day or any other time slot, let us know in the comments below. I'll try to do it then. And if your question wasn't picked, you could always ask it on Live with Ash. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, this here's Ash along with my co-host Sundar, and we are
leaving for the moment.
No, that's not in sync.
That was in sync.
No, you need to go a little bit more. It's like
this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go. Leaving for the moment. Have a nice day. Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Retech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer the questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
And since we actually left out our trusty SIM ejector tool, Sundar's gonna run around and get it. Okay, whoever it is who is on Periscope and reminded me of it, thank you.